Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a talk through eyeshadow tutorial with you guys. So I'm focusing just on the eyes in this video. I will have a full list of products mentioned on my face and that I used. So at the end of this tutorial I'll have a full face of makeup on. I just won't show it to you on camera, but I will have everything listed down below. So if you want to see like what foundation, blush, and bronzer I use, that kind of thing. But today we are just going to be focusing on the eyes, and I want to use my Natasha Denona palette. This is the blue-green palette. I did mention this in my Is It Worth the Money video. So if you want to see that, I will have it in a card on the screen linked, so you can click on that if you want to go watch that video. But yeah, I'm just feeling like very inspired by this palette, and it was very expensive, and I do love it. I do think it was worth the money. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen that video. So yeah, I just want to get as much bang for my buck out of this palette, and I did purchase this with my own money, so I want to use it as much as possible, and I thought I would turn the camera on and show you guys what I create with this palette. Jumping right in, I have already prepped and primed my eyelids. I used my Lorac behind the scenes eyeshadow primer in my MAC Painterly paint pot, and then I set the base down with a little bit of translucent powder. So I'm ready for eyeshadow. Also, sorry if you guys can hear my fan in the background. I do have a fan over to the side because it is absolutely boiling in this room, so I have to have a fan. Okay, so I'm going to take this Morphe E27 fluffy blending brush. I'm going to go into this shade right here, and I'm just going to pop this into the crease. I am feeling like I'm going to do a halo eye today, so I'm going to make this very rounded and make sure to focus it on the inner corner as well as the outer corner, and make sure to blend a little bit above my crease because I do have hooded lids. Now that we have that base transition shade on, and that's just going to help everything blend seamlessly so we don't have any harsh edges. So it kind of diffuses the shadow from dark to light and going upwards towards our brow bone. So now that we have that shade in, I'm going to take this deeper brown shade over here. This one right here, it's kind of like a warm brown. I'm going to take this on a Sephora Pro number 27 brush, and I'm going to do pretty much the same thing that I did with that original shade, just be a little bit more precise and blend this not so high up, so lower in the crease, just so it creates that nice gradient. So I'm going to focus this mainly in the lower portion and kind of bring it on this outer V. I'm really packing on the color. And then I also want to bring that just here on the inner portion of the lid. That's really going to create this halo effect so that we have kind of like a spotlight in the center of our eye. And then I'm going to go back with that original blending brush and just blend out the edges. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye. Alright, that looks good. So I'm actually going to go in with another color from a different palette right now. I would say if I had one con about the Natasha Denona palette is that there's no like black shade or really deep rich brown. The only brown is pretty much this one. That's the only matte brown in this palette. Gorgeous colors, but if I want like a super rich deep crease or smoky eye, I have to go in with a different shade. So I'm just going to take Makeup Geek Corrupt, and that's just that right there, that deep black. And I'm just going to take this very lightly to deepen up the outer corner. So just further building that gradient and that nice transition that we have going. Let's see. I'm going to take a Crown C441 Pro blending brush. This is just a stiffer brush. So as you can see, we went from loose hair. We went from a very fluffy brush. This is the E27 from Morphe. And then we went to a Sephora Pro number 27. So as you can see, it's just a little bit smaller. And then now we're going in with the most precise this crown brush. So as you can see, the difference in size there. We've got super fluffy, not as fluffy, and then the most precise. And sweep it into the crease. And then I'm going to take that same black and I'm going to go into the inner corner just to deepen that up. Very lightly. Light pressure, I mean. And go back in with that same brush that had the medium brown. Just blend out over everything. And then as you can see, we have left the center blank. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. So that is what the eyes are looking like so far. Next, I'm going to go back into my Natasha Denona palette, and I'm going to take this green shade right here. It's like a very beautiful forest golden green. And I'm just going to take that on a clean finger, and I'm going to tap that in the center portion of my lid where we don't have any more product. We've been avoiding that area on purpose because I really want to create a nice like spotlight effect for this halo eye. So I'm just taking that on my finger, and I'm going to tap that on the center portion of my eyelid. Just like that. So next I'm going to go back in with that medium fluffy brush. This is the Sephora number 27. And I'm just going to start to blend out the edges so we don't have like a harsh line between the green and the black. I'm just lightly like touching and in the crease. I'm just like lightly touching against those edges. There's no extra product on my brush. I'm just like tapping. And then I can go back in with my finger and tap out. I want to make this a little bit more like punchy and just bring out the green a lot more. So I'm going to take this e.l.f. brush. This is one of my dollar e.l.f. brushes that I've had since high school. No joke. And I'm going to take this really shimmery, glittery shade right there. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that. And then for added effect, I'm going to take some Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. You can use MAC Fix Plus, you can use the Urban Decay setting spray, any facial spray that you might have. And I'm just going to spray my brush. I'm going to tap that over top. Just like that. Do we see the difference? These shades are super soft, so I find that like the glittery shades have a little bit more fallout than the matte shades, just because there is so much glitter in the pan. I'm about to sneeze. Achoo! Whew. So for the lower lash line, I'm going to pretty much mimic everything that I did on the top lid onto my lower lash line. I'm just going to use the same gradient shades, the same type of brushes, and then I'm going to pop the shimmery into the center of the lid. So I am going to do that, and let's get started. I'm going to take my favorite brush for my lower lash line, which is the Real Techniques, I think this is just called, yeah, the shading brush. I'm going to go into those same shades as I used on the top. And then I'm going to tightline my upper waterline, and I'm going to use my Nars pencil in Via Veneto. It's just the black shade from Nars. Alright, next I'm going to curl my lashes, put on mascara, put on some falsies, do the rest of my face makeup, and we will be back at the end of the video to see the final result. And that is the completed makeup look. So I really love how these eyes turned out. Like I said, I was just feeling really inspired by that green color. I've been wanting to do like a very deep, dark green smoky eye for a couple of weeks now. And yeah, I love how it turned out. That Natasha Denona palette and all of her other palettes are absolutely stunning. Seriously, some of the best eyeshadows I have used, hands down. I do order mine online at Sephora.com. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel so you never miss any one of my future uploads. And don't forget to share it with your friends. Leave me a comment down below, and also check the description box for more info on all the products that I used on my face. I will have them listed down there. Let me know what you guys thought. If you like the dedicated eye tutorials where I really focus in on eye makeup, or if you prefer to see more full face tutorials like all of my tutorials have been in the past. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.